What's up, guys and gals, and welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we're going to be taking a look at Immortal Tactics War of the Eternals. This is a back-to-basics tactical roguelike with a bunch of achievements where you unlock things and you are a group of warriors trying to fight your way through a series of battles without dying while accomplishing certain objectives on a hex-based grid in the service of a dark or light god. And so anyways, there's a number of characters and things to play around with here. The game comes out in about 8 weeks after the time of this video's publishing. And so we're going to give it a run today for about 25-35 minutes and see if it's something that you wanted to add to your wish list or otherwise pass on. If after watching this you did indeed want to take a look at the game's page, I got a link for you down below. On top of that, I got my Twitch and my Discord links down there. But yeah, this is kind of a cool game. I really like the art style of it, and I've been enjoying my time with it. I've actually beaten the first map, and I recorded the whole thing. This is my second run at recording this episode because I beat the game, but like, I picked the wrong ability at the beginning, and then I was referring to it like the entire time as though I was going to use it, and then when I finally went around to using it, it wasn't the ability that I thought I was, and I'm trying not to make mistakes like that in my videos anymore. And so we're giving this a second run. The good news is that means that I've unlocked more stuff, and I've put about 2.5 hours into the game prior to the recording of this, so my knowledge of it is that much greater. I played for about an hour before the last episode. And so anyways, right now we've got to pick our army, we've got to pick our warriors. So there's 2 different armies that I have. Actually, apparently I have 3. I unlocked a new army. That's pretty cool. So anyways, we've got the Divine Leader, which definitely has like North Korea vibes. The Divine Leader will guide us. We have the Angel of Death, who is an evil god. And then we have Heiwa Nosation, who I have no idea who this guy is. Apparently, he heals all of our units by 1 health and gives focus status that would increase each attack by half damage and lasts for 3 turns. And apparently I unlocked his second ability too. Usually when you unlock these guys, they only have 1 ability. So the Divine Leader, he's got an ability that allows you to pretty much heal everybody in your party up to maximum health, plus they get regeneration for 3 turns. The Angel of Death has a couple of abilities. I've beaten the game with Hunger for Power. It basically increases your character's damage and makes them put Cursed on the enemy, which makes them take damage when they would have otherwise healed. He's got another ability called Touch of Death, which instantly kills an enemy but won't kill bosses. And then he's got Death Plague, which harms everybody on the battlefield, your characters included. Kind of a situational ability that's really only useful if there's a bunch of low health mooks left on the board and you're trying to quick wipe them. But anyways, and then apparently this guy has the ability we already talked about, Evasive Strength, and then Nature's Disguise, which apparently makes one of our characters invisible for a turn. I wanted to unlock some more stuff on the Divine Leader, so I'm going to go for that. I've beaten the game with the Angel of Death. You also get to pick your units that are going to be representing this god. As of right now, I have a Paladin, like a Knight basically. He's a melee character. We have an Archer, pretty self-explanatory. We have a Mage, once again, self-explanatory. Lots of different things here. Fireball, Lightning Blast, healing spells. And then I've unlocked this guy who I haven't actually tried yet. And so I kind of want to try him out. So let's give that a go. I think I'll probably drop... How much can he move? He can only move 1 tile and he's got 2 HP. Oof, he's fragile. Okay, we'll swap him in for the Mage then, since he seems to be barking up the same tree. The game does have really good pixel art. It's got some pretty awesome fatalities when you kill the enemies. I actually really like the presentational style of this game. It took me back to the days of like Ultima Pagan, or like Ultima 7 in there, where everything is kind of like, in Ultima it wasn't, but in this game it's on a hex grid, and everything has kind of like a dark fantasy appearance to it. I like that. Let's start a new adventure, and I'll give you some of my thoughts on the game. There's 2 maps as of right now. I don't know if that's all that there's ever going to be. I've beaten the Wildlands, but since that's probably a good place to start, that's probably what I'll do, because I don't know what I'm walking into in the Swamplands. I know what I'm doing in the Wildlands, and so I should be able to do something here. So the game is literally just back-to-back battles. That's pretty much it. You get a little blurb about what's going on in like the overall war between the gods at the bottom every single time you take a fight. But at the beginning, it's going to give you a list of your objectives that you need to accomplish. So we've got to defeat all the enemies, and we've got to win in 14 turns. If it's in red, that means that you have to do it. That's basically how you end the mission. If it's in white, it means that's an optional objective. So why are you doing these things? There's no money, there's no currency, there's no shops, there's no anything like that inside this game. Instead, for each of these objectives that you complete, your god's meter fills up, and it gives him charges of his ability that he can use to help you guys out. And so that's ultimately what you're striving for. The game works in 4 phases. Well, 5, technically. But anyways, the 4 phases are enemy move, your move, your attack, enemy attack. And that's basically the way the thing is structured. And then after that, there's a thing called an environmental phase where, like, various things will happen. Each of these hexes right here will have effects on your character if they stand on it. If it's a grass tile, nothing bad happens. If it's thorny vines over here, you get probed and take damage for every turn that you stand on top of it. These little guys nerf your movement by 1 on your next turn, so don't ever put one of your 1-move guys on these because they'll get stuck and they can't really get out as far as I know. Enemies, because they attack after we attack, we can actually leave them kind of in blank open hexes if we want to, and we'll be totally safe from reprisal. I'm going to take my movement turn. We're going to put our knight down here, and we're going to put our archer right there, and hopefully this big guy will move on to the thorny vines. Right now, people only have 1 attack, but at the end of the game, they'll have 3 attacks and a perk. There's no variance on those as far as I know from what I've seen in my last couple hours playing the game. If you mouse over their portrait in the top left-hand corner, what you will find is that as they level up, they will get new abilities and they will get stronger. And so anyways, there's no variance there, though. I would like to see, like, maybe 3 options for each level up so that you can, like, pick and choose what you want to take, basically, and you can kind of build your characters in different directions. In the case of the fighter, you know what I mean? He can be a pure fighter, or he can get, like, a defensive tree, or he can get, like, a berserker tree where effectively he throws caution to the wind, and you can mix and match in between the 3, picking 1 from each. That'd be super swell, but as of right now, this is what we have. I'm going to go ahead and attack this guy with my sword, and he's going to die in the face. When you attack an enemy or you do any action, you get 1 XP towards leveling up. As you can see, he hit level 2 right there, which unlocked his massive cleave ability. If you kill an enemy, you get 2 XP, and so that's where really your big money, big prizes is going to come from. I'm going to start... What does this guy even do? Holy Osmosis. He gives up his own life to heal a unit for 3 health. This unit's health becomes 1, and you need your health to be more than 1 to cast this. The heal will deal damage instead to other units. So he gives up his life to heal a unit with 3 health. The wording on that is very, very vague. I don't know how I feel about this. What abilities does he get as he levels up? It looks like at level 2 he gets some kind of new ability. I'm guessing this guy is mostly just a buff bot, which is really going to hurt our DPS. But it will put us in a situation where we may have more support than we would otherwise have and an ability to, like, heal ourselves up. This unit is immune to being cursed and gets healed by half health every movement turn. Double XP is given when healing a unit to its full health, while killing a unit only grants single XP. So yeah, he's very much support, I guess. You might notice that each of these abilities has a charge on it. If we look at his cleave, he's got 1 charge right there. If you bypass your action, you will get charges back. Although, I don't know if it gives a charge back to everything. For some abilities, it feels like you have to loot a big blue crystal that sometimes spawns on the field. But I'll speak more about that later. We'll go ahead and bypass his turn. He's going to hang out right where he's at and apparently attack that log. That log is his mortal foe, and he hates it. He hates it in half. He's going to move up to right there. Okay, that's a little bit not so great. Instead, what I'll do is I'll move you to right here, and I will move you up to here. I will move you to here. You've only got 2.5. How hard does he hit? He hits for 1.5 damage. Okay. This game does have a weird display method on the UI where it's got a fraction over the top of a fraction. I don't know how I feel about that. Part of me feels like that's jarring, and I'm like, what is that? Why isn't it a fraction over a fraction? Like, they could have used, like, bubbles or something to represent people's health, or maybe just, like, a number with a decimal point. I'm guessing it's just to fit it into the UI right here, make it all look interesting. There is an option to disable the fraction over a fraction, but it does that by rolling all the damage upwards, and so I feel like that'll make it a little bit more spiky, but it is there. Well, let's see if we can get rid of this ant over here before anything else goes crazy wrong. Can you kill him in 1 turn? You can? Well, death to you. I do think that the damage that it shows, because they've got these cool little fatalities, it'd be nice if the damage was shown above their heads instead of on the center of their sprite. That way, you could actually see the cool graphical thing happening when you kill an enemy. That's kind of like a minor gripe. It's just like one of those little things. Archer has now leveled up. That's good because she got an ability that allows her to put regen on people, which is pretty swell. I kind of want to test out his ability, but I'm worried what's going to happen if I do it. He does need to heal people in order to do that. So, I just wanted to see what would happen if I done did it. He's still got, like, movement left to disengage. I've still got a bad feeling that he may not survive this sortie unless I give them somebody better to shoot at. Yeah, we'll go ahead and finish off the tree ant. Basically, I have to heal with him in order to level people up, unfortunately. He regenerates on his turn, so like long term, we're not in too bad a shape. What is this ability? With the Divine's Blessing, all attacks done to nearby units have a damage reduction of half a damage. This unit is not included in the damage reduction. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and do it because, like, he needs to gain XP. She, unfortunately, did not get the benefit of that. There is a reinforcement phase that starts coming in as you get further on into the game. Just to be forewarned about it. It is a thing that can happen. He's healed up, so then he can heal her again. I do like having all these heals on deck. These heals on deck are just fantastic. Let's go ahead and we will hit you right there. Because they were constrained by that right there, I think we got a back attack bonus, which is pretty cool. He doesn't have any charges left, so we're going to have him, like, relax for a second until he gets a charge back. And then, there's the enemy reinforcements. Oh, good, they spawned behind me. That is one of my minor gripes about the game, is that the enemies can spawn, like, behind you. Basically, like, there's no demarcation line, so the enemies don't come from the left and you come from the right. Instead, you start out that way, but during the reinforcement turns, the enemies can come from, like, anywhere up to and including, like, adjacent to you. And that's one of those little things that had me kind of scratching my head for a bit. I wasn't sure if I was a massive fan of it. We'll go ahead and move these guys back over to protect. We will go for a kill right there, I think. Just get this guy off my healer real fast. And then I would like to run that heal one more time, just so he's consistently getting XP. Okay, they're attacking a log, I guess. It's log, it's log, it's big, it's round, it's dead. So what can I do here? I'm going to actually put them in the line of fire for just a second. Because why not? I'm going to have you bypass a turn. Can you kill in one turn right there? You cannot, but you did get your knockback ability, which is pretty cool. So, like, if I was smarter, I would have knocked him back into the spines and killed him that way, but... Que sera, such is life. It's not lined up the way I want it to be. It is what it is. We'll finish it off on the next turn. He's got his buff back up, but he's not adjacent to anybody, so it's not really that helpful. Okay, goblins are in play right now. I'm going to move her over to here so that she can finish off that druid. You can move up to there. And I want you, on your turn, to heal somebody just so you level up. Like, I'm trying to... It's kind of hard to level up healers in this game. I've actually never had a healer. This is my first run with this guy. The mage, actually, he's kind of got one support ability, so he's got a heal he can use once per battle for 2 HP. And then on top of that, he's got an AoE lightning strike that stuns things that he can use like once per battle. And then he's also got a fireball that lights things on fire because, you know, mages and fire, they tend to get enticed by those sorts of things. But there's our battle. We've got our kills taken care of. We made both of our objectives. It's going to give us a post-battle synopsis of what we've accomplished out here. So there you go. And you'll see his little meter goes up. Technically, I feel like we should be playing a different god right here because we already have like a healer. Oh, good. He got another HP. Hell yeah. Okay, so that's good. That makes him a little bit more resilient. All right, so we've got to activate an altar. We've got to take less than 14 damage, and we need to win without losing anybody. Might be a little challenging. I don't know. We've got to get over to this altar over here. Otherwise, nothing is going to work out for us. And as you can see, the AI is already lining up to get on top of that altar. Move you over to here. Move you over to here. We're going to try to bushwhack this guy on the first turn. And bushwhacked he is. This guy's a poison thrower. All of these, actually, the game has a really, really good UI. You can see where they can move by clicking on them. You can look at all of their abilities and the ranges of their abilities. He's got an ability called Farewell Blast when he dies that poisons everybody around him. And so it's not good. We don't want that guy close to us, even if it means it takes us a little bit longer to get to the objective. it's still one of those things, like poison in this game can really add up a lot of damage if you're not careful. He's got spiritual cleansing, cleansing the evil spirits of the enemies by dealing 4 damage, and gives 2 health regeneration status for 3 turns. So he does have an attack in there, but he can only use it like once per battle. Fair enough. Okay. They're all attacking and destroying things. There is the environmental phase now. General rule of thumb is don't be standing on any of the tiles that are marked in white when things go off. That's my advice to you. I can't really move him around too much, and he can only attack from 2 tiles with that. We are getting surrounded right now, which totally sucks. Since I have healing, I think I'm just going to kill this guy and take the 1 damage. Well, I should have moved her over here. That was kind of a mistake on my part. They've now all got poison on them. Ah, well. That's life. With him, I need him to catch up with everybody, but he's so slow. And that's about to create a block that's actually going to block that entire tile off so that nobody can get through. And so sometimes these battles can get really, really cramped. It sort of depends on the layout, I guess. But there are battles that are very cramped. And once reinforcements start coming in and going for specific objectives, it can get pretty messy pretty quickly. Not going to lie to you. We're going to get him on the altar so that we can get that started. We're going to bring him down here. We are going to move her over to here. And the goal here is to slash him down to get... We're going to knock him back into the tile that nerfs movement because our poor little mage here has got to walk around. He's just having, like, the worst day ever. Honestly, I kind of feel like he's a carry, but hopefully it'll be okay. They are once again trying to destroy me with environmental hazards. We've got to hold that point. Does her poison go off after? At the end of an attack turn. Okay, that's fine. I can live with that. But you need to stay exactly where you are right now so that I can heal you on the next turn. That's pretty much where we're at. Okay, so attack phase is a go. We're going to heal you on up. There you go. We're going to open on that guy. We're going to slash this guy down. And we may need to kite a little bit with our healer. Oh, never mind. It blocked off the pass. He actually, like, can't get to us now. That worked out fantastically well for me. Hooray. We've got to keep people... I'm going to keep moving you forward right there. You keep regenerating and doing what you're going to do. You guys just hang tight. Don't go anywhere. I do need this guy to go. So that's going to be my next focus. And then... Can't really do anything with him right now. Womp womp. Environmental phase was merciful. More enemy reinforcements are here. Thank you for moving inside the attack range, specifically of my knight. I appreciate that. That was good of you to do. I am going to heal you up because we're about to win this map, and I'd rather have the XP than anything else. When he gets to level 4, he gets spiritual cleansing, which... Doesn't he already have spiritual cleansing? Says he's level 3, but he's already got spiritual cleansing. I might be missing something here, but I don't want to stare at it for too long while I'm doing recorded content. We'll kill him off, and then at the end of this turn, we should win because we stood on the thing for 3 turns. And so there it is. We win. The objective has been completed. And so our kill count is up to 15. You might be asking why that matters. In this game... When you win and when you lose, it does not fill up a little meter that gives you metagame progression. In this game, all the achievements are weaponized, meaning that, like, there are characters and there are gods that you will unlock as you play the game based on how many kills you got, based on how many of these side objectives you completed. You know, there's some other ones out there too. But anyways, basically, if you want to unlock anything in this game, you need to accomplish something. You don't just get it by banging your head against the first 3 levels over and over and over again. All right, so open the gate. It is required. Time is ticking. Kill count. Where's the... Oh, it's over there. Okay. We don't really have a meaningful path to get to that switch, which somewhat worries me. Yeah, go ahead and get your XP. We'll lay down like a... We'll lay down a little bit of a protective circle from some of the arrows and barbs and things that are going to be thrown our way. These objectives tend to be the hardest ones, the ones that, like... So, you know that last level we did where we had to activate an altar? There's a mission in this game that, like, it is really, really hard, where there will be 3 altars, and you have to have 1 character on top of each altar for 1 turn in order to, like, win the mission. And, oh, my God, dude, it's a rough mission. It's real, real hard, because typically your 3rd guy only has 1 movement, and so getting him onto the tile is hard enough, but usually the guy with 1 movement also has really crappy HP, which means that, like, staying on the altar for the 1 turn and tanking all the damage that's going to come in is not necessarily, like, crazy feasible. And so anyways, things can go wrong with that mission. Okay, he took a little bit of damage right there. These guys put bleed on you so that you can't walk. It can be difficult to deal with. I don't want to kite too hard, but I do need to get up there and get to that objective. There's just no way around it. So you stay where you're at. You're perfectly fine. You're okay where you're at. You maybe step back by 1 so that you don't catch an attack on this turn. Like, this guy is built to tank, and we have heals ready to go, and we've got 3 uses of our god power already ready to go. So we might be okay. I'm going to have him cleave. That's going to deal a bunch of damage to these dudes. One omission that's kind of odd that I noticed is that there's no sound, there's no music inside the battles. Like, I was expecting there to be kind of like a ha-ha-ha-ha, like, I don't know, some kind of like epic, like, I don't know, like some kind of intense, like operatic, like Gregorian chant style music while you're in the battles. But it's actually like completely and totally silent, and I don't know exactly why that is. I need to kill somebody. How hard do you hit? You cripple people? 2.5 damage? Good lord. Okay. Let's put damage on you then. Yeah, I would like for you to be vanquished. That would be a thing that would make me very happy. So he took a damage. He's got a bleed on him. What bleed does is bleed makes it so every time he moves a tile, he gets wounded. And so you really... Uh-oh. Well, he has to move now. That's unfortunate. Yeah, that's a little bit bad. I have a healer, so it's not that big of a deal. How much damage is he going to take when he moves? So he's got a bleederinos on him. He takes 1 damage per tile, 2 turns remaining. Ooh, okay. But he's got a defensive ability that's cutting it down by half, so it's not that bad. The other thing that I'd like to do is let's just kind of like move you down to here, and we'll move you down to here. And somebody's going to have to activate that over there. Now, the good news is when we activate this over here, it's going to shoot all these guys with arrows from what I recall. And so that might be a little bit helpful. I would like you to die, absolutely. You being dead would please me greatly because I can basically perma-knock this guy back with the arrow ability that she's got. And so I'm not really that concerned about using it aggressively. He can't really do much on his turn, so I'm just going to let him, like, chillax and kind of get his abilities back. Environmental phase zapped him for a half. That's nice. This is bad. This is real, real bad. This is not good. I'm going to have to use a turn to shoot that log down. And I don't wanna. I don't wanna at all. Oh, this is super bad. Okay. Yeah, I regret bringing this guy along. As it turns out, the mage provides you with some much-needed oomph in order to get the job done that we just, like, functionally do not have right now. A little bit problematic. There we go. So that's going to give us a little bit of damage out. For right now, we're still avoiding getting smote. So that's nice. I can't get the mage out that way, so I don't even want to knock that path open. Honestly, I may just use... the warrior here to run the jewels. I don't know. Oh, he did get his ability back. Nice. Well, that's helpful. I mean, not right this second it's not helpful, but it, like, would be helpful in certain situations. He's taking no damage from archers, so I'm not really too worried about his safety. That's bad, and that's also bad. Those are both things that are bad. I'm going to move you over to here. Oh, the bleed is off of him. Nice. Okay, so instead what we'll do is we'll go over to here. Yeah, that's fine. I don't want to do this, but I kind of have to do this. I could score a kill on a couple different fronts right now that would make my life much more simple. But the question becomes, is it worth it? Yeah, I guess kill the archer. I was going to clear this path so that we could go through it, but I just don't think it's going to play out that way. We'll kill that guy off real quick, too. He's now dead. Okay. We're safe. Safe-ish. Safe-like. I don't feel like they're super interested in going after... So here's the thing. I gotta keep my wizard out of this situation as much as possible. I also need to hit that other switch up there before this gets worse. So... let's start eliminating, like, low-key threats here. Yeah. Can't really do much, but we've got the field thinned out pretty good. So I think we might be okay. But this is kind of a thinking man's strategy game. Like, the turn order is actually quite creative in this game in the way that they've arranged it. Because the turn order is actually, like, a big deal in this game. Like, the turn order is actually the reason why the game functions. I'll focus on that one, I guess. We'll keep the damage going out. You can't really do much right here. I'm a little bit worried that I'm going to go into the next level limited on resources. Oh, that's super bad. My mage is dead. He's toast. And that's kind of what I'm talking about, is that, like, I don't like that they spawn on your side of the field. I think that's one of my big complaints about the game, is that they really should reinforce. I don't care if they can reinforce, like, up to this hex, like, all the way in, like, midway through the battlefield. But, man, it can be really, really obnoxious when they reinforce in ways you didn't want them to. Oh, you're not going to die. That's unfortunate. Okay, we'll put the damage out there anyways. I will go ahead and smite you because it's what I've got points for. And then we've got one more turn till we're out of here. We just got to persevere. That's it. Like, we just got to persevere for one more turn. That's all. And then we escape with our lives. And life is good. I really hope it ends right here when I flick the switch. Yes, it did. It did. Thank God. We would have been in a world of doo-doo butter pain if that had not happened exactly where it happened. We're also wasting a lot of opportunity with our mage because he only gets XP from healing. And so, like, you're supposed to be spamming heals on him. I know that. You're supposed to be leaning on him, like, really, really heavily. But it just hasn't been going that way. There's a chest on this map. So with the chest, don't let your army get hit by environmental attacks and effects. No promise. Anytime you've got a guy that can only move one tile, it's kind of like, who knows? We'll see what happens. We'll see how it plays out. No promises there, big guy. Okay, so I need you to move right there. I'm going to take the environmental damage on the first turn because I just flatly do not care. Can you one-shot him? He's only got 1 HP. Yes, you can. I want you, like, up close and personal because we've got to play this one a little bit close quarters, and I'd rather not, but we are where we are. Not really much for you to do for right now. Okay, he's mitigated all of the arrow damage, so that's good. Unfortunately, this big rock dude is just, like, all up in my business right now. I've also got a poison thrower right there, which is just headache central. Yeah, let's get back away from the poison, and we'll set you up right here. We're going to take a little bit of a licking on this turn. There's just no way around it, but we've got an extra healer, and we've got like 4 charges of our god power, so I think we'll be okay. Our knight got a new ability that puts weakened on the enemy, which makes them take bonus damage from every hit. We might as well use it right here. I mean, technically, I could knock you back into the spikes and save myself some damage on this turn. I'm gonna. There you go. Enjoy being on the damage spikes, you big red turd. Ooh, he got paralyzed and poisoned and shot in the face. He's having kind of a bad day. He's not really having the best time right now. It's okay. I can fix this. I think he loses his turn because of the paralysis, which is unfortunate, but I want that chest. You're going to give me that chest. Okay, he just leveled up to 4. What did that give him? Spiritual cleansing, which he already has been using this entire time. I don't know, man. I don't know. There we go. Get a little damage off right there. You save yourself for like 1 more turn. It's definitely getting worse before it gets better over here. Oh yeah, the environmental thingamadoober. Yeah, the environmental problem. Okay, so now we've actually got serious issues. We're getting overwhelmed. I could have played safer and just gotten rid of the chest, but the chest gives you meta progression. When you open it, you unlock new characters. And honestly, I want those characters, and so... Either way, though, I think our mage is dead. I don't think there's a whole lot of ways to save him. So we can get a kill right there. We can one-shot him and finish him off. But it kind of depends if they focus on him with all their attacks. Let's just do it. Sometimes you got to make hard decisions. Yeah, they went after the mage. Somewhat unfortunate. And he's moved into the slot. Weak. We're just never going to get this chest. I can move you down to here to kill the poison guy. It doesn't really help me a whole lot. I'm going to move you back for a second so that I can think about my life decisions and everything I've done that's led to this terrible, awful moment in which I'm getting, like, smoked. I'm going to go ahead and heal up my entire party using my God's ability. Obviously, pretty cool spell effect right there. I like it a lot. I need you to die is really what I need. That poison is just unacceptable. So, die, please. Thank you. You are now dead. Dead, dead, dead. D-E-D, dead. And the poison explosion actually killed those guys off, too. Nice. I love it when a story has a happy ending. I've got to survive for 11 turns. Well, we've got 6 more turns to go, so we're not completely and totally out of the woods yet. You go ahead and recharge so you can heal again. I've got a feeling the enemy is going to reinforce on this turn. Oh, that's super bad. I hate everything about that. They're just not letting me get this chest right now. They're like flat out refusing to let me have this chest. Okay, fine. I didn't want the chest anyways. The chest is stupid and I hate it. Alright? I didn't want that chest. You just thought I wanted that chest. That's all there is to say about that. You go ahead and smite his ass so I can get back over there on the next turn maybe and get that chest so I can unlock a new character or a new ability or something. And then you got the kill right there. I'm proud of all of you. You've done a decent job. Oh, they didn't reinforce. Nice. Well, then I think I'll have my Astral Monk has been unlocked. A unit that can take a hit and fight with his fist. Certainly a great addition to the army. Hell yeah, dude. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go. That's the good stuff right there. So anyways, Immortal Tactics, what are my thoughts about it? We're kind of coming towards the end of the video, so I think we're kind of at a natural point where I can talk about the game and what it's got going on. Immortal Tactics is a pretty good back-to-basics tactics game. There's not a lot of frills here, but what is in the game is thoughtful and well-designed. Position matters in this game, and using all the tools in your arsenal is pretty honestly the only way you're going to make it into the later levels. The hero power curve feels satisfying and seems to increase nearly perfectly in line with the enemies growing in number, thus guaranteeing that your characters feel like they've leveled up and gotten stronger, but ultimately they never become so powerful as to make the fights trivial. The best thing I can liken it to is something like Into the Breach. It's a fast-paced game focused on understanding the ins and outs of your characters, and it refuses to reward you for playing badly with progression unlocks that are tied to the amount of XP you've gathered or the levels that you've passed. With Immortal Tactics, you've actually got to do a good job if you want to get the fun new toys. Some people dislike that, and in fact, with games like this that tend to have a little bit higher of a difficulty curve, I usually recommend that an easy mode be there for people that just want to dabble and have fun with the pretty sprites and artwork, but obviously that opens up an argument that I think is made for bigger minds than my own. I found the game to be simple, satisfying, and well-constructed. At first, I was like, man, this game is really, really hard. I'm getting stomped out. But after I applied myself and I started like really thinking about what it meant to move to this tile versus this tile, what abilities I should have on cooldowns, and once I got the feel for like the flow of using and recharging your abilities, it all seemed to clear itself up. The sound effects and animations are great. They look and sound great. Gore rockets all over the place when you defeat an enemy or when one of your own guys dies, and so far I've been really, really pleased with just how different every character plays and is meant to be used. A run with a wizard is going to be very, very different from a run with a priest. The turn order, I think, is intelligently designed and very, very elegant. And aside from, like, my minor annoyance of having enemies spawn adjacent to characters during the reinforcement phase, even when that happens, it's still manageable if you move your characters assuming that it's gonna happen on a reinforcement turn. And so, like, the first couple times I played the game, I was like, or I guess the first, like, hour or so I spent with the game, that really drove me up a wall. But when I started planning for it, it became pretty manageable. There is the issue of combat music being missing for whatever reason. I hope that gets rectified and they add it on in. Some of the arenas can be a tiny bit too cramped, but all in all, I like the game a lot. Those are very, very, very minor gripes. This game hit me on a number of levels with the art style and the flow of play and the general attention to, like, kind of the fatalities and everything else, and I really, really enjoyed my time with it. This game is called Immortal Tactics. My name is Splattercat. I sift through the pile to find what's worthwhile in the world of indie games every single day so you don't have to. I'll see y'all tomorrow with something hot and fresh off the indie skillet, but up until then, goodbye, everybody. It's time for me to go.